Keir Starmer and the Labour Party insult the northern working class voters. The EU published their 4 strategy points on the Brexit trade talks, and we launch our new media movement. Well, the Labour leadership election is still going on. God knows why. Don't know why they need so much time for this. They could have sorted this out in half a day, because all the candidates are crazy. So the membership should not be that confused about them. They're all literally the same, just look different. And but it is getting slightly ridiculous, because we know that the 2017 and 2019 election went quite badly for the Labour Party because they abandoned their core voters, whether it was from the Midlands or the North, the working class areas. And what happened was they decided to rely on Sir Keir Starmer, the shadow Brexit secretary, to come up with the Brexit policy. Yeah, guess what happened? There was a fence. They forced Jeremy Corbyn to sit on that fence. And Keir Starmer just sat at the back, just started giggling, waiting for Jeremy Corbyn to fail so that he could come and stand as the candidate for the next leadership. He didn't realise this is not going to go well, because people don't forget things. People still remember that Keir Starmer was behind the main person behind the second referendum policy. It's because they don't understand why certain people in the Midlands, in the North, in Wales, all these places voted for Brexit. They still don't get it. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about the Labour Party, and we're going to talk about the European Union, because they have finally published their 4 strategy points on the Brexit trade talks, and they're not good. Trust me, they're not good. So we're going to talk about that as well, and we're going to talk about how we have finally launched our new membership club and our new media movement, which will change politics and media for good. So let's start with what Keir Starmer has posted on social media. He said that we need to win in Scotland, we need to win in Wales, we need to win in the southwest and the southeast. There's a couple of regions missing here. What happened to the north? What happened to the Midlands? I don't understand. Like, there's enough space to put them there, but it seems like the strategy is supposed to be just to focus on the Southerners, because, you know, as if they don't already have the support from the Londoners. But this isn't the first time, because not only Keir Starmer, but also other candidates and the Labour Party in general recently, they're no longer interested in your ordinary working class people, because they think they're stupid. That's why the proposed policies coming from all 3 candidates will harm and damage the Northern and Midlands towns in general. But before we get to the policies, this is another example of showing how out of touch Starmer actually is. He's basically used Patrick Stewart, the actor, to endorse him, and he said, "I believe Keir Starmer is the leader that Labour needs to put the party and country back where we should be." When was the last time celebrity endorsements actually helped the left? Did it go well for the Remainers? Did it work well for the Labour Party or the Lib Dems? So this is again, he picked another elitist celebrity to back him, but the policies matter more, because he's already tweeted about his Green New Deal and how he wants to increase taxes, but also increase the cost of electricity and heating for pensioners and actually ordinary people in the north, the people who can't actually afford it. And he's going to make it even more difficult for them to live their lives, to make people in the south and Shoreditch happy. Yes, this is a policy aimed at people who live in Hackney, who live in Shoreditch, who live in Islington or Camden. To make these people happy, everybody else has to suffer. You know, to make Greta Thunberg happy, you people in the north need to suffer. So that's how the Labour Party works. And there is an issue with Keir Starmer, his lack of personality. And Peston on ITV, I interviewed him and asked him about his personality, and this is what he had to say.
I think some people would see you as a politician from a slightly different era, and you actually sort of slightly pride yourself on not playing that personality game. But does that mean that actually it's just impossible for somebody like you? You might win the Labour leadership election, but what chance have you got in a general election if the people want that sort of personality?
Throughout my life, I've seen lots of different leaders doing lots of leading in different ways, and you can be really effective in different ways. And I just don't buy into this theory. There is one type of leader that people want.
Firstly, is it just me, or Starmer is actually starting to sound like Ed Miliband? His actual voice. But my issue isn't his personality. Yes, he's very boring. Every time he talks, I fall asleep. But it's not just that. It's everything that these people stand for. And this is why Even Lisa Nandy, during the last hustings and debate, actually pointed out that Keir Starmer was behind the second referendum policy, and Brexit was a massive factor that Labour lost all the support, especially in the North and Midlands. So this is what she had to say.
That either Brexit came up over and over again. We'd managed to get ourselves into a position on Brexit where Leavers thought we were Remainers, where Remainers thought we were Leavers. And right across this country, wherever you were, people felt profoundly disrespected by it.
So who's to blame then for that Brexit? I mean, you've got the shadow Brexit secretary standing next to you. Is he to blame?
Well, it was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster. And I think there is a collective failure of leadership on Brexit that we have to own up to as a party. But let's be honest too, this has been a really long time coming. For decades, people in towns like mine and towns like Dewsbury have been saying that Labour is no longer of or for our communities. I want that to change. That's why I'm standing to be leader of the Labour Party. I don't want to move Labour to the centre. I think people see the need for fundamental radical change in this country, but I would like to move Labour to the north.
Now, the key point at the end was when she said, I, Lisa Nandy, am not planning to move the party to the centre. This is exactly what a lot of moderates thought, that she's going to be the moderate candidate. Oh no, she's not. They're all crazy. She wants to abolish the monarchy. So no, I don't think people in the north will support you just because you say, I'm going to move the Labour Party to the north, become the party of the north again. I don't think they're that stupid. Speaking of smart and stupid, Richard Bergen is standing for deputy leader. And he is very proud to announce that Jeremy Corbyn did nothing wrong. Yeah. Andrew Marr asked this question, and this is what Richard had to say.
The Shadow Justice Secretary, Richard Bergen, is a proud continuity Corbyn candidate. Are you not? Good morning. Are you not?
I certainly am, and I want to defend what I think are the three pillars of Corbynism: a democratic members-led party, an anti-austerity pro-public ownership party, and an anti-war internationalist party, and that's what my three pledges as a deputy leadership candidate are based on. And I also think that the right-wing press upped its game when it came to the demonisation of a decent man in Jeremy Corbyn. Because in 2017, we had a socialist leader, Jeremy, the manifesto of socialist policies. 2019, and we came close to winning. We came close to winning. It was an electoral advance, if only we'd have won. In 2019, same leader, a manifesto of socialist policy, and we got smashed.
Okay, he keeps doing this. Every interview, when it's about the Labour's performance in elections, he keeps talking about the 2017 election. Thinking Labour won, until obviously the presenters or the interviewers actually say, "Well, you didn't win." But I think he's got a bad memory, but he's not really a smart cookie. So I mean, this is the person who tweeted the other day saying, if you join him for a telephone canvassing session to help his campaign, you'll get a free badge. I can literally make that badge within like 5 minutes online. Why do I have to do telecanvassing for Richard Bergen and his communist friends? I mean, if you want a free badge, feel free to join Richard. But again, it's not just him. They're all mental. All these new Labour MPs since 2015, basically, they're all absolutely crazy. You got Zara Sultana. We've talked about her a few times recently on this channel. She's now come out and decided to, in order to help the Labour Party, to focus on identity politics. Because, yeah, that's a good idea, guys. So she's now attacking Rishi Sunak, the new Chancellor, because, he happens to have, he happens to be rich. He happens to be a successful businessman.
I think it's important not to get distracted by what's happening with that statement, because we see one former investment banker chancellor replaced by another who went to a private school, who went to Oxford, who comes from a family that has billionaire members of it. So for me, the budget is incredibly important, and it's by a government that caters towards the billionaires.
Right, enough of the Labour Party. Let's talk about the European Union, things that actually matter. So these guys have now finally come out with their 4 strategy points and the 4 main demands for the Brexit trade talks. And you have France are kicking off, obviously, because of the fisheries. They say that we respect the Brexit vote, it's a sovereign vote, but our fishermen and our industries, we still need to have access to your water, despite your vote.
I was in Normandy a few weeks ago, and we Europeans, in Denmark, in Belgium, in Netherlands, in Spain, in Germany, in France, we cannot go to these people who invested for their whole life to buy a boat, then to create a full, industry to transform, to freeze, to export fish, that for a reason they didn't choose. We fully respect the Brexit vote. It's a sovereign choice of the British people. But these people...
It means Britain is now an independent coastal state.
But
and I ask again, would you actually let the whole deal fall on something like fishing?
We linked 4 subjects. We linked free trade agreement, conditions of competition, governance of the whole deal, and fishing.
Right, so let's talk about the 4 points. So you got the free trade agreement. I'm fine with that. Just like any other country, free trade is good. And then the second point is competition. You know what? We know what she means. This is basically about us going with their standardization and their regulations so that we can't become competitive. They don't want us to become, for example, Singapore on the Thames, because that means that we'll be better off and we'll do better than them. That's the second point. That's a stupid thing. We should not say yes to that. The third point is the governance of the whole deal. You know what it is? It's the European Court of Justice. They need a referee to govern this whole deal and this whole agreement. Again, it can't be on the table. It should not be on the table. Boris Johnson has already said it's not on the table. And the fourth is fisheries. We've talked about this a lot. This is going to be a massive game changer. I think this will be the reason that the UK will walk away from the negotiations if they continue. And I don't think they're going to give up. I think France are very focused on defending their industries. I don't think they're going to actually give in. So we might actually end up leaving on WTO terms until they realize what's happening. And I'm fine with that. Now, let's talk about our new media movement. You guys know, most of you, that we have decided to start a new media movement against conventional media, and to start something to defend free speech and free press, especially with the whole Ofcom censorship stuff. And so we are, on this channel, we are starting a big group, a membership club, and it's already actually live now. We are obviously going to be doing a nationwide tour around the country, and they're doing the first one in Manchester on the 9th of April, and we're going to do more in the Northeast, the Midlands, Wales, and other places as well, and Scotland. Don't worry, guys, we're coming for you guys. But we have, obviously, because we don't have big money, big corporations behind us, we rely on you and your support to survive. If you want to see this channel continue the work that we do, then feel free to join our membership club. You can actually find the link in the description, or you could go on the homepage, at the front page, you could actually find the join button next to subscribe. Check out the link there, because you can actually join us, show your support, but actually get something back in return, because you deserve it too. There are benefits and perks, including members-only live streams and Q&As, but also exclusive members-only videos. These are the content that you can't find on the main channel. We'll be talking about everything, not just Brexit. And we're going to have more, obviously, social events, meetups, regular face-to-face meetups where we discuss, and you can share your ideas, suggest ideas to me, and we could do it together. Again, because you guys are my political family. I would not be here without you. And I want this. I believe in being independent. This is an independent channel. We don't have, as I said, lobbyists or corporations behind us. I want you guys to have a say. I believe in consumer choice, so I want you to run and control the narrative as we do on this channel. So we'll share ideas together. So if you want to obviously see us continuing the work, feel free to join our membership club, and with a small monthly contribution you get a lot of things in return. Now, if you are new to the channel, if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe as usual and click on the bell next to it, because we have a daily show at 5:45 p.m. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can find the details, Twitter, Instagram, right here on the screen. As always, I'm Tousi. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video.